Would you like to see before and after of a textile designer's work? Well, I have for you today a before and after of my own work, and I have been at it for 15 years, so let's hop right in. By the time you finish this video, you will have a little bit more perspective, hopefully, on what it takes to go from the very first repeat pattern design to more advanced repeat patterns, to collections, and what you can expect just starting out. And when you get to the end of this video, you will be able to get a present from me, so stay tuned till the end. My name is Oksancia. I have been a textile designer for over 15 years now, and I am a founder of Oksancia Textile Design Studio and award-winning online school. When I was first starting out, I was actually training to be an illustrator and a self-taught illustrator, so I was doing a lot of practicing, and I actually already published my first illustrated children's book with a publisher here in the US where I live now. However, patterns and repeat patterns, fabric designs always interested me, and I started out trying things and not being able to create anything good, at least nothing that I liked. But one day I was able to get some help from my husband, who is a much more techie person than I am, and he helped me figure out the system in Adobe Illustrator how to create vector repeat patterns much faster and how to be able to preview them while you're working on them. Super awesome system that I still use to this day, and I teach my online course students. But as a result of that day came my very first fabric design. So this is it on a little infinity scarf right here, and it features tiny little white flowers like sakura inspired cherry blossom flowers, and tiny little twigs and tiny little dots. The flowers are all exactly the same, so you can tell that it's very simple design, and I did include a little bit of variety in the branches, but I think there are just two different branches and exactly same size of a dot. So very simple ditzy design. I still love it till this day, and it still sells on my online fabric shop. However, this was my very first one, and I treasure it because it started a portfolio of over 5,000 different repeat pattern designs that I created over many years. So this one is the very first one. So what makes it like a before? First of all, it's the first one that I actually successfully created. It repeats on fabric, and it successfully sells till this day, so that's pretty awesome. And however, the elements are all the same. There's not much variety. It's a scattered design, but it's very homogeneous, it's very simple. How can we improve upon this design, and how did I improve upon that design? I will take you through a little bit of a history and process right now. So I love creating floral designs, and to show you the more kind of an after version of floral designs that I was able to learn how to create is, for example, this one. I have a lot of different ones, but here you can see that the colors are bolder, that the elements are different. So let me see, I have 1, 2, 3, at least 8 that I can see now. 8 different elements. Yes, 8 different elements in this design. So instead of just drawing one and a little bit of a branch, I drew 8 different designs. So that's the first thing. Next, the designs have variety, and they have little outlines and shapes, and they are more interesting. Some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger. So that's something to try in your designs. If you're just starting out, add more variety. Then we see variety in color. Some of them are hiding in the background, like these little tiny purple ones. Some of them are jumping to the front, like the yellow ones and the blue ones. Well, you see that a little bit more variety in color, in shapes, in sizes of the elements create a little bit more of a interesting look, even though the first one is good in its own way. However, this one is more varied, so a little bit more of an advanced skill to be able to combine elements together. So this is something that you can try if you're just starting out and want to improve your style. Next kind of a level that you want to try to improve and go a little bit more ahead, as I did, is creating the designs that with elements that kind of flow out of each other. So this is the seaweed pattern that I created, and this pattern has a seaweed that go in all kinds of different directions. However, one seaweed hides behind and grows from behind another one. So there are no elements that are just scattered and one next to each other. The elements grow from each other, so from behind each other. This one is an example of it, and this is a little bit trickier to create as they are overlapping each other, so you need to make sure that you crop them correctly so they repeat correctly. So a little bit more advanced skill that I recommend that you try and test for yourself. So this one was a little bit more of an advanced design. However, you see again varied elements, so they're not all the same as my first one, and you see that varied colors. So learning how to combine different kinds of colors, more vibrancy, more contrast. So another something that you might want to try in your own designs. Something else you want to try, and what I did, is creating characters. So it's another interesting thing is you can, instead of just creating flowers or simple shapes, you can create more complex shapes. And this is, for example, my root vegetables pattern that I designed a while ago, and this has a lot of faces and cute characters, as well as different elements again, and some elements are growing from behind another elements. And you see here featured a little bit more of a kawaii style faces and smiles with different kinds of elements all coming together on this fabric. So another kind of level up for this particular fabric, as something to try in your own design work. While I'm showing you these designs, I want to give you a tip. While we are looking at different kinds of patterns, the simple patterns and more complex patterns, there are not necessarily better ones from these both types. They are different. So usually when you're just starting out, you tend to create more simple patterns since you are building your skill. However, even as a designer with many years of experience, you still need simple patterns. For example, imagine a tote bag with a colorful, bold design with lots of floral patterns, and then a simple polka dot pattern on a pocket, which will go very well together and be very cute as a design. But at the same time, the polka dot pattern is not necessarily worse than the complicated floral pattern of a whole tote bag. It complements and it stands on its own. So don't necessarily think that simple is worse than more complex. Next, we can go higher, even more up in level of skill, when you can create repeat pattern collections with featured patterns, with main patterns, more complex, and then matching patterns that usually a little bit more simple, and then different colorways. For example, such as these. But let me tell you, no matter where you are on this process, on this road of getting to become a repeat pattern textile designer, don't get discouraged. If you're just starting out and you're frustrated that your elements are still simple, that your level of skill creating the complex compositions is not here yet, well, I was in the same place. Every designer was in the same place. So don't worry, keep going, and it will all work out as long as you keep trying and get yourself to more and more interesting and more complex levels. You'll be able to design both simple and complex designs in no time. So today I shared with you before and after of my own textile design work with my very first design, and then more and more complex and different designs as I go all the way up to vector repeat pattern collections. And if you want to watch a little bit more the behind the scenes story of my very first vector repeat pattern and what happened, how I actually managed to turn this pattern into thousands and thousands different patterns, please click the link in the description under this video for related a video about this pattern. Remember the present that I promised you at the beginning of this video? Here is my webinar recording that I release to you today for free, which is called 3 Secrets to Building a Successful Lifestyle Business Designing Repeat Patterns. This is actually a workshop along with a workbook that you can download and work on your own business as you go along the webinar, and as you listen to it, you'll be able to have action steps. So it is very much hands-on, full of ideas and inspiration for your own creative business as a textile designer. You can access this free webinar recording with the link in the description. You will be taken to a page where you can sign up and watch this recording and work along with it. I have gotten some great feedback for this webinar, so I hope you check it out as well. Remember, the link is in the description under this video. Enjoy! Thank you so much for watching Grow, Love and Create, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!